He who conquers others is strong. He who conquers himself is mighty. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Silence is a source of great strength. The best fighter is never angry. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. The wise man does not lay up his own treasures. The more he gives to others, the more he has for his own. When anger rises, think of the consequences. To see and listen to the wicked is already the beginning of wickedness. The superior man is modest in his speech, but exceeds in his actions. The journey with 1,000 steps begins beneath one's feet. Do not impose on others what you yourself do not desire. He who does not trust enough will not be trusted. Choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. The wise man is he who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. What the superior man seeks is in himself. What the small man seeks is in others. He who knows all the answers has not been asked all the questions. He who learns but does not think is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in great danger. To know what is right and not do it is the worst cowardice. A man of wisdom delights in water. A man of humanity delights in mountains. He who speaks without modesty will find it difficult to make his words good. The gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. When you see a good person, think of becoming like him. When you see someone not so good, reflect on your own weak points. He who loves others is constantly loved by them. He who respects others is constantly respected by them. To see the right and not to do it is cowardice. Be not ashamed of mistakes and thus make them crimes. The greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Men's natures are alike. It is their habits that carry them far apart. When prosperity comes, do not use all of it. The man who asks may be a fool for a moment, but the man who never asks is a fool for life. The superior man is distressed by the limitations of his ability. He is not distressed by the fact that men do not recognize the ability that he has. The noble-minded are calm and steady. Little people are forever fussing and fretting. He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. A wise man learns more from his enemies than a fool from his friends. The man who asks a question is a fool for a minute. The man who does not ask is a fool for life. To see what is right and not to do it is want of courage. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. The great man is he who does not lose his childlike heart. When heaven is about to confer a great office on a man, it first exercises his mind with suffering and his sinews and bones with toil. It exposes his body to hunger and subjects him to extreme poverty. It confounds his undertakings. By all these methods it stimulates his mind, hardens his nature, and supplies his incompetencies. He who excels in resolving difficulties does so before they arise. He who excels in conquering his enemies triumphs before threats become real. The person attempting to travel 2 roads at once will get nowhere. The greatest victory is that which requires no battle. Opportunities multiply as they are seized. In war, the way is to avoid what is strong and to strike at what is weak. The greatest warriors win without fighting. Happiness is the absence of the striving for happiness. Flow with whatever may happen and let your mind be free. Stay centered by accepting whatever you are doing. A path is made by walking on it. The way to do is to be. The superior man understands what is right. The inferior man understands what will sell. The man who asks a question is a fool for a minute. The man who does not ask is a fool for life. He who learns but does not think is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in great danger. The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential, these are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. A gentleman would be ashamed should his deeds not match his words. The strength of a nation derives from the integrity of the home. The essence of knowledge is having it to apply it, not having it to confess your ignorance. When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps. The gem cannot be polished without friction, nor man perfected without trials. The superior man thinks always of virtue, the common man thinks of comfort. Choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. Wheresoever you go, go with all your heart. Respect yourself, and others will respect you. To put the world in order, we must first put the nation in order. To put the nation in order, we must first put the family in order. To put the family in order, we must first cultivate our personal life. We must first set our hearts right. Reviewing what you have learned and learning anew, you are fit to be a teacher. If you make a mistake and do not correct it, this is called a mistake. 3 things never come back: time, word, and opportunity. Therefore, do not waste time. Choose words and do not miss the opportunity. If you are the smartest person in the room, then you are in the wrong room. Live for the praise of others, and you will become their prisoner. A man dies easily because he has too much will to live. We have 2 lives, and the second begins when we realize we only have one. The man who says he can and the man who says he cannot are both correct. Learn as if you constantly feel you lack your knowledge, and as if you are constantly afraid of losing your knowledge. If you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present.